So guys, what do you think? Looking ahead to Miami, Sherrod, Josue, Jimmy, ask you guys first here. Do they stay with, now that it worked, we think, do they stay with double big, or do you try to work Derek White back into kind of what's going
Stay
on
with double
here?
big, but please play at least 8 guys. I don't like the 7-man thing to go the whole entire series against the Heat, and don't make it one of those situations where you start the series that way and then you have to switch things up. But the double big, I think you keep the double big, and whether it's a Blake or a Grant, someone out there in the front court that's over 6'5". I mean, I just feel like they have to put someone else out there in this series against Miami.
I don't think they're gonna. I think these are their guys, and again, bummed to see Grant not out there for most of this series again. Thought when they started slow from 3 early in this game, they needed a guy like that. They didn't go in that direction. They ultimately got some late from Tatum, who's struggled from out there for a lot of this year. So they do need that shooting against this Miami team. This Miami team's going to zone it up at a level that the Celtics haven't seen. They saw a little bit of it in this series, but that's always a trouble for this team. And I'm going to look at this series and say what I always do. I just don't get it. I'm baffled, absolutely baffled. I love the Raptors and thought they might threaten the Celtics. I thought the Heat were about to crash and burn, and that'd be the end of them. And for them to be here after they lost that play-in game where they potentially could have seen this, talk about another sliding doors moment. I mean, they beat the Bucks, and then they handled the Knicks fairly easily. So I'm not going to overlook them because I've done that before, and they've made me pay.
CLNS Media's Celtics coverage is brought to you by FanDuel. New customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win.
Yeah, most people don't really pay attention to your predictions, Bobby.
There's too many of them to keep track of.
Celtics fans get nervous if you call them winning it. You say the Celtics going to win, they get nervous. Yeah. What up, Joel?
Yeah, Celtics in 4.
Joel chiming in here.
Celtics in 4, Sixers in
Celtics
6.
in 4, Sixers in 7.
Sixers in 6.
And then you switched last time. After game 5, you had it right. Celtics in 7, you were like, nah, switching.
Raptors in 7, yeah.
Yeah, so the Heat, to me, I don't get it still. Hero's hurt. I don't know how he's looking going into this series. I'd imagine he's going to miss most of it. Oladipo's out, which hurts at depth, although he's not a super important piece.
They don't have the horses.
They don't. And so you wonder, will there be more Celtics letdowns in this series, like ones we saw here that extend the series? The Butler thing's going to be a problem. I mean, John, you're the biggest proponent of this guy. I don't know how it's going to be on Tatum, I think.
But there's only one of him.
Yeah, but man, he's
That's exactly it.
He is just
I love
stealing.
him. He's great,
stealing
but there's
games
only
left
one.
and right. I don't know how you counteract that. Double big, I think, will be a good way to go there. So yeah, I agree with you.
Here's how it's going to go. The Celtics will blow them out in 2 or 3 games, and it's at least will blow them out in at least 2 games. Blow them out. And then the question is, are you going to lose every coin flip game because you're going to be out Spoelstra and out Butlered in those games? And if you do, you'll lose the series. But they're going to absolutely eviscerate them in a couple of games that won't even be close, which means you got to win a couple of the coin flips in those closer games where they are in there, and some of your worst tendencies can creep in, and some of the stuff that these guys are known for, they can kind of do to you. But is that going to happen 4 times to them? I don't think so. You're not getting blown out. You're not getting run off the court by this team. So
no, it's the same.
Are they going to lose? Are they going to lose every
grinded out
game
loss? I just don't see it. Honestly, I'm not ready to make my prediction yet, but it's obviously going to be a Celtics victory or a series victory. And it's not even a knock on Miami. Credit to them for even being in this position. It speaks to Butler, it speaks to Spoelstra and a couple of those role player guys. But I mean, with Hero out, they're just lacking on that offensive end. And the Celtics are too talented. They really are. I mean, this would be the most embarrassing. You might as well lose to the Sixers if you're going to bow out to the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be worse than losing to the Sixers.
We almost did, Jimmy. And again, that game 6.
The Sixers, I think, are better than the Heat.
You go back to that game 6, and it was such a scary moment, the way that game was going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just still baffled by the turnaround here. And it's a big credit to them. That is why I switched my prediction after that, is because I was just so impressed by the game 6. That's one of the most impressive things this team's ever done. And I know everyone's throwing out Tatum's game 6 at Milwaukee. I still think that's such a different situation because
it was a better team. It was that game, Bobby's hard to put behind this one because they needed him all the way down to the wire to win that one, and it was a contested game. Tatum. I mean, for the last like 10, 15 points Tatum scored here was with the game already over, so like they needed every friggin' single one of his 46 against Miami.
Yeah, you're right.
Milwaukee,
They extended themselves to a massive degree in this third quarter here.
Yeah. So that's the only difference. But in terms of quality of play, he played it was amazing just how well he was playing in almost everything that he did here. Guys, final thoughts here before we wrap it up. And again, we live to play another day. We're very thrilled about that because that was far from a guarantee. We did not tell you about our exclusive wagering partner, FanDuel, yet, which we normally tell you a lot about, but by now you should know. And if you don't, another new opportunity to come in here and ride that Celtics bandwagon. Head over to FanDuel. It's the official partner of NBA and the NBA playoffs and the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network. And sign up today when you go to FanDuel.com/Boston. Get your no sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/Boston. Once again, you can bet, you can lose, and they'll give you $1,000 back in bonus bets to give it another shot. That's as good a deal as you're going to get here. Familiarity here, third time 4 years against the Heat. Kind of wanted to see somebody new just to try something new.
No, I love Miami, man.
Knicks would have been fun.
Yeah, this is personal for Miami too.
Yeah, you like it because you like going to Miami.
This is
one of the like Miami.
This is probably the only. I mean, other than the LeBron Curry thing we just saw, which was cool. This is probably the only rivalry in the league.
I don't even see this as a rivalry. Maybe that's wrong.
No, Celtics Sixers is a bigger rivalry than this.
Do they have enough?
Bobby, Celtics Knicks would have become a rivalry. That's why it would have.
Celtics Knicks would have been fun.
That would have been fun. But I mean, the Heat won this series in 2020. The Celtics ripped it from them, and I can't wait to hear the Heat because Strus is still pissed about the out of bounds call. Butler's probably still pissed they missed that shot, and Bam's just Spoelstra just always kind of generally pissed. So they're going to be one.
That's that Heat culture, Bobby.
Coming into this series, I'm blown away by them. I can't believe they're here. But this is another.
It's the ultimate apology camp for you, Bobby. We're not going to make you take it right now.
We're not going to make you do it.
As long as everybody knows.
This team looked like they were falling apart, and here they are.
This edition of the Garden Report is also brought to you by Athletic Greens. Visit athleticgreens.com/garden for a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase.